In this week's Training Minute, we will explore the key principles of Palo Alto communication, focusing particularly on the second of the four principles. The objective is to identify this second major principle and become aware of the various levels of communication and its omnipresence in relationships. But first, let's revisit the first principle that we discussed previously. It states that you cannot not communicate. Indeed, whatever we do, we always communicate, even through the absence of words or action. And now, here is the second of the four main principles of Palo Alto communication. Every communication has a content aspect and a relationship aspect. The content aspect is the raw information transmitted in the message, what is explicitly said. For example, in the phrase, "I'm tired," the content is the information that the person is tired. The relationship aspect is the way the message is delivered and what it says about the relationship between the interlocutors. This includes tone of voice, facial expressions, body language, etc. This aspect influences how the message is perceived and reveals information about the nature of the relationship between the individuals. Example of a work situation. An employee receives an email from their superior with the following message: "Can you correct the errors in this report before this afternoon's meeting?" The explicit information is a request to correct the errors in the report before a certain deadline. The way the email is written and interpreted by the employee can reveal elements about the relationship between the superior and the employee. For example, if the email is written in a neutral and professional tone, the employee might understand that it's a routine request and that the relationship is based on professional and respectful communication. If the email is perceived as abrupt or curt, perhaps because of the lack of courtesy or a "please," the employee might interpret this as a sign of pressure or dissatisfaction from the superior, which could affect their perception of the work relationship. The employee might react differently depending on the relational aspect of the message. If the relationship is perceived as tense, the employee might feel stressed or frustrated, even if the content of the message is relatively simple. The way a message is communicated can thus amplify or reduce tensions in a relationship, even if the content itself is benign. Key takeaway. In any communication, the relationship between the individuals is as important, if not more important, than the content of the message. It highlights the importance of paying attention not only to what we say, but also to how we say it, as this can affect the perception of the message and the quality of the relationship. This concludes this week's Training Minute. We invite you next week to the Training Minute to learn about the third major principle of Palo Alto communication. For more information on our training courses, visit our website at actualizacion.com or reach us at 1-877-688-0101. Actualizacion, training and consulting since 1970.